Ladies and gentlemen, it is springtime. This is one of your hosts, MJ40, and we are excited to bring another edition of TRD PRO Bros. Because when you know, you know.
All right, we've been talking about 4Runner for a long time, and we've got a nice one that we built out for you. We're going to show you that video really quick and give you a quick rundown on how we like to spend $12,000 on accessories and parts. All right, everybody, we just wanted to run you through really quick our 6th Gen 4Runner build. Obviously, we have a huge focus on this vehicle being launched. We have a huge focus on the accessories that are available for it. Those have been growing over the last year or so. So we're just going to run you through really quick where our head was at and why we put what we put on here. So the goal of this was convenience with camping. Obviously, that starts with some organization. We have this Yakima home base. This is about $1,000, about $500 here. Those are just about to be online in our catalog and approved. So we got them a little early. We don't have a part number for them yet, but they fit really well in this vehicle, almost as if it was made for it, which is really nice. Then obviously we want to have something to keep our food cool. So this is Dometic. This is a 45-liter fridge and a drawer slide so that you can still get into your items up in the top. So really, really convenient. We also have some other coolers available that you could do if you didn't want to spend the money on a fridge. But that fridge is connected to, this wire would be inside normally, but that's connected to this Dometic battery. So we've got the battery fully charged right now and it's running the fridge. So the vehicle can be parked and it's going to stay cold. And then up top we have an Obsidian 45 watt. We also have a larger wattage solar panel as well. But that keeps it kind of an infinite system. So no matter whether we're driving or whether we're parked, we've got nice cold fridge staying at the ready in the back. We have a WeBoost on top, which is also a new item that's added to the list so we can have better cell reception depending on where we're at. We have ARB tread boards up here. A set are on top if we need extra traction, and a set's down below to level out the vehicle. We also have a Dometic tent on top, so that's one of the first tents that we've had from them that's available for a rooftop tent. So we've got sleeping, we've got food, we've got organization, we've got communications, we've got traction, and then on the other side, we've got this Kamiq awning, so it's nice and convenient for popping out. Doesn't need poles. If it gets windy, we can add poles to it, but you've got shade, and then you've got your Dometic chairs and Dometic table. So these are about 150 a piece. That's about 200 for the table. A water jug and a faucet's about 150 total, and this is about 1,000. So you've got shade, you've got some comfort, you've got some utility and usability, and it all fits very nicely in this vehicle. So we just tried to give some examples of stuff that customers are already doing, why they're doing it, and rough costs. We'll put that all together in a build sheet and send that out so you've got more information available to you.
All right, folks, we are back in the studio. So excited for another edition of TRD PRO Bros, because when you know, you know.
Because you're a bro.
And you're a bro, and it's all show and glow, especially when we're talking about accessories, right, Andrew?
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
That's what we're here
for sure. So we're excited to have this episode dedicated to Toyota off-road tech, which is so your love language.
He's getting me all hot and bothered over here.
Yeah, because if that dirt road lands at the beach and I'm in a 4Runner surf that they saw at SEMA, you're talking my love language now.
Oh, yeah. See, everybody loves off-roading, even if it's with sand.
Yeah, it just depends on the destination.
That's exactly right. We just got back from finishing our 4Runner launch. We got to see all of you guys, whether it was for 4Runner or for Beyond Zero. So we're on a TNGA-F platform high right now. We're loving the off-road stuff. We're loving all the things that the 4Runner brings to the market. We've all been waiting for it. We're seeing them out in the world now. We're seeing them out at dealers. And it really is a testament kind of closing out our off-road heritage and everything that Toyota has done to develop and work on over the past 75 plus years of developing vehicles. What people know and love, the fact that it's not a Jeep and it does all these great things. We're really happy, and that's why we're talking about this today.
Yeah, and you guys are probably wondering, why is Toyota so amazing off-road? We do think we are the best in that segment, right? We make the best trucks and SUVs, and it shows in our sales.
Yep.
Like, we don't have any on the lot. But we do feel that because we're the best, we can also command a premium because our quality is next level.
The other thing is, we're not just commanding a premium to command a premium. We're putting value in that.
Yes.
There's things that you may not see that are in the vehicle that give you the experience that you see.
Yeah, they're just built better from the ground up, right?
Right.
And that's why when Andrew gave me the 2 stickers and I can't do the Forerunner anymore.
That's right. I took this one away from him,
Yeah.
but he found other ones.
Yeah, I found other ones because I have to do this. This is just part of our episodes now.
That's right.
So, when we talk about built better from the ground up, and this is very expensive to do, we don't see this kind of technology with our competitors. It's this new global architecture, TNGAF. You guys remember from a previous episode, I was like, is that next generation? Which it is.
We had to
right?
look it up. We had to look it up.
Yeah, we had to go to the library, go through the card catalog for you old folks that watch us. But it's the Toyota's new global architecture frame platform with Dejima welding. Oh, snap. He gets excited when I say that word. Dejima.
This is where I have to take control of the plane now. This is so cool, right? We talk about this. We've done it at all of our F platform launches, but this is the foundation of the vehicle, right? The frame. This is something that no one else is doing. You want to have a rigid frame and have it be light like ours? You can't, because we're the ones who developed that process. So this is just a testament to the engineering prowess, the R&D that Toyota invests back in the company. We're not giving massive bonuses to upper management. We're taking that money and investing it into making the best product that we can to maintain a competitive advantage.
And what I like about it too, from my perspective, is that when I was driving these products over rocks and aggressive roads, I like how it's got that unibody feel. Unibody meaning that it's kind of like an SUV, like a RAV4 or a Highlander. It's very soft and smooth on each aspect of the jumps, right? But it's also a body on frame technology. So you still have, and that's what off-roaders want, is body on frame.
Yeah.
Right?
So when you mention like the unibody stuff and these other vehicles, kind of like we talked about at Forerunner launch, when we look at the other vehicles, we have to see what are their strengths and how do we put it in this vehicle. So by having a nice, stiff, rigid frame and tuning the suspension to that, we get to have the nice on-road handling and performance, as well as the strength and durability for off-roading. So again, the people who are buying this car as their daily, they're using it to commute and they're also off-roading. That's why it does all those so well, because we look at the foundation and what does it need to have.
Yeah, and we just launched the 25 Forerunner, and that was the last vehicle to come on the TNGF platform, right, Andrew?
Yep. Yeah, and actually the last vehicle to be on any TNGA style of development.
Yes.
So now all of our vehicles are this new global architecture style of development, and they're all part of some platform.
And it's cool too, because it always brings up Kaizen. Kaizen is the Japanese term for continuous improvement. You see it in our vehicles. Every time we launch a new vehicle, it's improved. And TNGF is part of that process. How do we make our vehicles better than the last generation from the ground up?
It wasn't bad before, so what are we going to do now?
Yeah, to make it better. Yeah, there's no best, only better. That's a big Toyota way philosophy, right?
Yeah.
No best, only better.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about TNGF, and that corresponds with our 5 brothers, which is Land Cruiser, Tundra, Land Cruiser being the Grampy, right? If you watch our Land Cruiser episode, the Grandpa, everyone loves Grandpa. Got Tundra, you got Sequoia, you got Tacoma, and you have Forerunner. Those are our 5 brothers. And one of my favorite parts of the 5 brothers is the 2 powertrains. So we're actually 4 different powertrains.
That's right. We can slice this a lot of different ways. We'll start off with the 2, right? We've got V35A FTS, which is our 3.4 liter turbo V6, right? That's what we see in our larger vehicles. Yeah. And then we've got our T24A FTS, which is our 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged, which is in our smaller Forerunner and Tacoma and Land Cruiser. The reason why I say there's technically 4 is because we use the exact same engine and transmission. We just add the electric motor for our 1-motor hybrid system and the related hybrid componentry to have our iForce Max versions of those motors.
Yeah, and so when you look at that Victor 35A Alpha FTS powertrain, obviously those have 10-speed trannies, right?
Yep.
Unlike the Sequoia or the Tacoma and Tacoma and Forerunner.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
I'm just tripping over myself. Maybe I need to do this to get us back on the schedule.
That's right.
It has a 3.4 liter twin turbo V6 iForce engine. This powertrain is tied into the Tundra and Sequoia, which is made in San Antonio, Texas, right?
Yeah.
And what I learned when I did the plant tour, because Andrew's done that as well, we've been able to actually explore it. They have 1,800 parts in these Tundras. 90% of them are new parts from the previous generation.
It's crazy.
But it's pretty cool going down to Texas and see it made stateside.
Yeah.
That Tango 24 Alpha FTS engine for the Tacoma and the 4Runner, that has an 8-speed tranny, 2.4 liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder. What I love about that specifically is our original 1984 4Runner had a 2.4 liter powertrain.
So everybody who's coming in like, oh, it's a 4-cylinder, that's terrible. All the heritage and the renowned name of 4Runner that everybody knows about was built on the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder.
Exactly, and there's a 221 horsepower jump from the original 1984 2.4 liter to the current gen. That's phenomenal.
22RE was great, but it was also a dog.
Yes. And where is that taco built in?
So we've got, because we brought our Sequoia down to Texas, right? It used to be up in Indiana. We moved it down to Texas. We had to boot Tacoma to all Baja and Guanajuato.
Yes.
So Guanajuato, really cool, super advanced plant.
And it's kind of TRD Pro, bro.
It is pro.
When you know, you know. So tell us a little bit more about the V35 Alpha and the Tango 24 Alpha.
All right.
2 powertrains.
So these 2 powertrains / 4 powertrains are really incredible. That's, to MJ's point, the powertrains are the highlight, right? We've got a lot of other things that are going on, but bringing in a more modern powertrain to handle the way that we drive the vehicles in the United States is really what makes them shine and what makes them a joy to drive. And us being at altitude, having that forced induction, as soon as I found out there was forced induction, I'm in. Don't care about any of the other specs. I'm in, because we get to make up that loss from being at altitude, and it keeps a really consistent drive while we're driving through the mountains.
And so that forced induction, just as you know, like if I'm running or I'm riding my bike, it's getting more oxygen into the lungs, right? I can perform better if I have more oxygen. Same thing with a combustion engine. You force more oxygen in, you get more output.
That's right.
Yeah.
More oxygen, mo better, right?
Mo better. TRD Pro.
That's right. So when we take our V35A engine and we look at our iForce Max, right? The big boy, we added in the engine, the 10-speed transmission, and our 1-motor hybrid system. We are getting 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque.
Huge.
It's massive, all while making the engine smaller.
Who would have thought?
Exactly. So really incredible performance out of this powertrain. And then when we look at the T24A, same thing. When we look at the iForce Max, our hybrid variant, we've got 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, which is more horsepower output than the previous 5.7 and only 80 pound-feet less than its output of the 5.7 V8 out of a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's crazy.
Enormous.
So tons of power to make these vehicles drive around. And again, were our 4Runners sitting on the shelf? Was 3rd gen sitting around? No one's buying it, right?
Gone.
These are taking all of the good things of that vehicle and taking it to the next level. I have a friend who bought a new Tacoma, lift, tires, wheels, all that, took it down to Uray, went off-roading, and he said that was the best trip he has ever taken in any Tacoma, in any Toyota to go off-roading. Most enjoyable for the highway to get there, highway or to drive through the off-roading in the high altitude while he's out there. And he's had Land Cruisers, he's had Tundras, he's had Tacomas. It's a huge testament to what these vehicles now can do because of what they've been designed for with how we use vehicles here.
And it's funny when you go back to 2006 and we're getting ready to launch the 2007 5.7 liter iForce Tundra. I remember talking to one of the chief engineers stateside, and he said, we'd love to do a hybrid, but we cannot build a hybrid at this point in time with the know-how we have, the engineering prowess, as well as the technology to outperform the current 5.7 liter V8.
Yeah.
Today, we've already done that. And that's what I love about these powertrains, right, Andrew? It's like you look at the Hybrid Max, Tundra has a tow capacity of 12,000 pounds.
Yeah.
The iForce 5.7 liter had a 10,000 pound ability.
Yeah.
Right? You look at the Sequoia, can tow up to 9,500 pounds. That's freaking crazy awesome.
It's tons.
That's TRD Pro, bro.
Yeah.
Because when you know, you know.
That's right, and you can tow.
You can tell. Yes, that's fantastic. So, to get out of the studio, because we've had you captive for a while, we were able to film Andrew in Steamboat. It was snowing. It was cold. We had to get the fireplace going.
That's
just
right.
him and I on these deserted, snowy, scary roads.
We brought the hot cocoa.
But we were in a TRD Pro. We didn't care.
It had all the things that we needed to be successful.
We weren't in a TRD Pro, were we?
It was a TRD.
TRD.
It wasn't a Pro.
That's fair. That's fair.
But that's the thing. Just the TRD had everything we needed. Right?
Everything we needed. And I want you to see how Andrew locked that rear diff and sprayed the crud out of me with snow. So let's take you there. All right, my peeps. We are cruising through Steamboat Springs, and there's a lot of snow on the ground. Of course, you can't have MJ40 without A-List Andrew.
That's right, baby.
And we are driving a Tundra Platinum, right? Andrew's been hooking me up with a lower body, which is my buns, and upper body massage because they have them in the Platinum and
1794
and Capstone units. And this is for Sequoia as well because they're very similar, right? They're both made out of Texas and our San Antonio plant.
Yeah.
So Andrew, see, we got a little space because we have a slow road ahead of us.
That's right, a little snow
But Andrew, tell me about the performance on this bad boy. Is this a hybrid or is it non-hybrid?
Well, right now we're doing centripetal. Oh, not the massage. You mean the car?
Yeah, the car. Because I'm about to fall asleep because the massage feels so good.
Oh my gosh, this thing is a dream to drive. You guys already know this, and there's obviously a lot of hoopla about the powertrain, and everybody's got their opinions, but for all of us that live at altitude, which is a lot of us in the region, twin turbo V6, this thing drives so nice. We've got 10 gears in the transmission. It is I haven't driven one for a while. I'm going to be honest here. I haven't driven one in probably 3 or 4 months. We hopped in this one and it's like, dude, this thing's a rocket ship. It's super smooth, big, comfortable seats. These seats have massagers in them. Like, as good as the Sienna is on road trips, man, if you've got stuff to do that's in a rugged location, or you've got stuff like you're towing, you've got to put it in the truck bed, this new Tundra really delivers on the interior creature comforts and the drivability. I know everyone loved that 5.7 V8, and it's a great, great motor, but it's not that this motor does not pull its own weight and deliver on that torque and horsepower that we need consistently through different altitudes and ranges.
You know, with all that being said, that's a lot of information. I just want the audience to know that I am wearing a Yakima vest right now. Okay, that's a little ploy to accessories, but also on top of all that performance, right? We have a twin turbo iForce V6, dual overhead cam, 24 valve, pent roof design, hemispheric combustion chamber. Was that dope?
That's sick.
And 389 horsepower. You know what's even better than that? Because we always got to top things when we're with A-List. Is A-List Trail Hunter camo trucker right in the front.
It's our inspirational dash adornment.
Yeah. And I hope for you aesthetic people that watch our show that we're wearing twin TRD beanies. We're
right.
the Beanie Bros. We're the flannel flock.
The Beanie Bros.
And we're all about this brand new Tundra.
Welcome everybody. This is A-List Andrew. I'm going to run through a quick list of why the Tundra is a king of towing in our lineup. We're starting at the back right here. We've got a backup camera that we can use to also look at the hitch. And you'll notice here we've got this hitch light. So when you're out here connecting your trailer in the dark, you can see. Really nice added feature, and it's just adding a light. How simple is that? Come down here. We've got a built-in 4-pin and 7-pin connector. I've got a 4-pin here, 7-pin there. That goes with our integrated brake controller, which is all standard inside the cab. Come up here, we're going to check out these tow mirrors. As you can see, with these tow mirrors, we've got multiple angles. We've got a convex down here so you can see a nice wide view. They're already wider out. We've got this reverse light, so at nighttime, if I put it in reverse, I can push this button right here on the dash, and I'm gonna get illumination that sends it all the way back to the back of the trailer to make sure you're parallel make sure you're just keeping the sides away. Over here, I've got my extension buttoned, and we're gonna come out here and see these mirrors. They've moved themselves a little bit farther out, and that gets me that view all the way around the back of my long trailer. So many good things along with the powertrain and everything else, tow haul button, so many things that go into this package that make it truly a dream tow vehicle. Stepped up from the last model year. We're finding ways to improve it. Hopefully that's been helpful to you and helping people understand why the Tundra is a towing king. On top of that, with this powertrain, we know we've got a max tow capacity of 12,000 pounds, depending on the grade. And because we've got turbos, you're maintaining that power output all the way up into altitude.
Of the professor, like A-list breakdown on what makes this Tundra great. The snowy spray hit me. I had to take a couple steps back, to be honest with you, because it was coming like an avalanche. The fact that we were up in the mountains made me think about our other teammate, our other TRD Pro Bros Mountain Meg. She is currently driving a 25 Tundra, just so you know. Like, she is all about our trucks, all about being in the mountains.
She's probably there right now.
Probably there right now, yeah. So we heard she has a new ARB fridge in the back. Let's see what she's got for us.
Heck yeah.
With me today, we're going to show you guys a bit about my new Tundra.
Meg, this is an incredible looking Tundra.
Thank you.
How do you get this rig ready for your summer adventures?
Okay,
And some of
so
your favorite features.
it's getting nice out again in Colorado. We're going to go on plenty of camping trips. A couple of my favorite features is there's a button right here on the side for a power lift gate.
Nice. Oh, that's amazing.
No manual effort required. It'll come right on down. And then, of course, you always have to have the tonneau cover. Don't rain on my stuff. Don't steal my stuff. And so then you just go ahead and pull the release. And this one is retractable. Inside, one of my favorite accessories is this ARB fridge. It's an electric fridge. So no cooler mess, no stopping for ice on the way out. You can just get in the road, get going. Your cooler is already loaded up. But this is super handy. This is the 120 volt plug. So it's right in the back of your bed. So you don't have to worry about taking up one of the plugs in the cab. And you can plug it in all the way on your road trip. So it's just ready to go. Just kind of fun. And then there's a few things for storage. I am so crazy, I don't know about you guys, about a tidy vehicle.
Yes.
I hate stuff rolling around. I hate stuff jingling when you're driving down the road. So this is super handy. You can just lift up the seats for stuff that you might need, but not very often. So I keep stuff like first aid kit, stuff like that under the seat. And then also you have room behind the seats to tuck away other things that you might want access to. The car jack's back there and those kind of things. So lots of little places to store things that you always want to keep in your car, but you don't really need regular access to.
And I have to ask, where did you get these wheels?
Right? This is the TRD off-road package that you can order when you're ordering the vehicle. And it comes with all sorts of blacked out badges, the rims, different features like that.
That's a game changer.
Sick. All right, bro chachas. Welcome to the Tundra. A couple things I love about this. I cannot live without wireless Apple CarPlay and a massive screen. So this is the 14-inch, super handy, gives me all the views I want. With that, there's also the JBL upgraded speakers. So it's a 12-speaker system, and you know this Tundra has the bass. So yes, we really love rolling around in that because we have to switch from our rap to our country with the windows down. Maybe they're going to take us to church on a Sunday morning. You have to be prepared for all of it. So that's one part I really love. The second thing I cannot not live without is this panoramic moonroof. So with the panoramic moonroof, there we go. You can pop it open or you can open it all the way back. And I always do it that little extra because we love the sun. And then you can also roll down the rear glass in the back. So yes, because I'm always traveling with the dog, that way I can get a good constant airflow. He doesn't get too anxious. And I don't have hair whipping in my eyeballs or sticking to my lip gloss on the way out to the mountains. And I can actually see. So cannot live without those. You can leave the windows up. Super handy. All right, another feature I really loved about the 1794 edition is this saddle tan leather interior. It has genuine wood grain accents and the two-tone. And does this remind anybody else of
Yellowstone.
Yes.
This is making me feel like I'm driving around Yellowstone right
On the ranch, right?
In the
Sometimes
ranch.
I feel like women feel the need to justify why they would drive a vehicle like this. And guess what? We don't. It's beautiful and it does what we want it to do. So I feel like I'm on Yellowstone when I have this interior. Favorite feature that I cannot wait to try is this crawl control. The button's right here.
Yeah, what does that do?
So basically, when you're on difficult terrain and you're having a hard time getting out of it, this vehicle, if you put it in crawl control, all you have to do is steer. You take your feet off the brake and the gas, and it works its own way out of whatever situation you've got yourself into. And you don't have to worry about that crash coming off of a boulder or something like that. It just automatically sort of eases you out of that situation. So haven't tried it much yet, but we're going to off-road a bit this summer, and I'm excited about that one. Apart from that, I am anybody else a very systematic person?
Yes.
The keys go here and the phone goes there. So wireless charging, the phone goes right here. And then obviously there's plenty of space for all your road trip beverages.
Yep.
And these are big enough for your giant Hydro Flask or Stanley or whatever you need for the hydration. And then there's all these tiny compartments. So what you need right off the bat, if you need easy access to the middle, there's a sliding compartment, or you can open the whole thing up, which I really appreciate. And then of course in the door there's cup holders too. So you can use your used coffee cups and put those until you get to the trash can and still have all this space, which I really like. Another thing, you may be asking, Meg, how do you park this massive vehicle? Because I grew up in a town where we didn't need to learn how to do that. And I backed into stuff all the time. But what I love about this vehicle is, anybody ever been to Trader Joe's on a Sunday?
Chaotic.
Try not to.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago I did that because apparently I hate myself. And I backed into that parking lot without a single problem. So, a couple things I want to show you. This... Don't hit our bro Chacho! MJ40. A few views in these cameras are super handy. And they give you the beep so you don't hit things. And then if I'm gonna put it into reverse, I get the same thing in the back. But then once I have backed into my spot, if I wanna check the lines are really tight in that parking lot, right? I can come here to the panoramic view, hit this button, and it'll give me a 360 view of where the truck is at, and I can know if I need to adjust within the lines. So, I kid you not, the other day at Whole Foods, I guess I only go to grocery stores. I pulled out, I backed right in, I got out, and someone yelled at me from the back. I thought they were gonna yell at me. Nope, nice park job.
Here
I
you
was
go,
like,
Mountain
thank you. So do you guys feel summer ready in the Tundra? Any other questions?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
We should take this thing up to Breckenridge right now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. We always love the lifestyle stuff. We always like getting that input on how can these things fit into our daily lives from our TRD Pro Bro Chacha, Mountain Meg. Huge fan of Dometic, huge fan of ARB. We talk about them a lot, right? I know it may seem like we're biased, but when you look at our AAP catalog, they have so many offerings. It's not just one or two things here. They're in so many different aspects of vehicle ownership and usage that I always go back to them because I can almost guarantee you every customer can find something from one of those two in our list that would help them in how they use their vehicle.
Yes, for sure. And here's another thing, man. We are moving along at a nice clip. I know our audience loves Curbside Killer.
We miss him.
We do miss him.
Yeah.
And he has amazing interviews
Yeah.
with some great guests. So we're going to cut to him and see what he's got.
Thanks for the introduction, guys. Curbside Keller out again, this time with Brian Stapp at Stapp Interstate Toyota, longtime friend of the region, friend of our dealers, just all around great guy. Brian, third generation Toyota dealer. You've been around Toyota a fairly long time. You've seen 4Runner, you've seen Land Cruiser, you've seen all of our type of four-wheel drive systems. Does Toyota rock? What do you think about it now? What do you think about in the future?
Yeah, I think we got our dealership in 1974, our family did, so we've seen a lot of change from the old FJ40 Land Cruisers to the brand new TRD Pro 4Runner. I think the one thing specifically about Toyota's off-road technology is we just don't settle down. We don't rest on our laurels. We continue to improve and give our customers what they demand with the latest technology. So we're talking about our new multi-terrain select or crawl control features that really allow our customers, even if they're not the most qualified, experienced four-wheelers, to take the cars where they want. Or if we talk about things like our stabilizer disconnect mechanism, I mean, that's an incredible feature that a manufacturer offers something like that straight off the production line. We're very, very blessed to have the Toyota lineup, especially our four-wheel drives.
Lots of technology in there. A little bit later in this episode, A-List lifts out his top 5, and I think you hit 4 of the 5, and I didn't even try to prep you for that. I love this. With TRD Pro Bros, we love TRD, totally rad dude. Is the brand have value to you in dealer world, or are we past that, or can we do more in the future?
I think the fun thing about TRD is the attitude and where it came from. I mean, we really launched a whole new concept. It was into NASCAR racing and everything, and TRD became a lifestyle, became an attitude. And I think that's the piece where it really added on to Toyota's reputation. Is we've always been known for a QDR. But all of a sudden, now you throw styling and attitude and TRD, and we're getting with GR, with Akio being our leader. It really has given us, quite frankly, a whole nother brand within our dealership. It's been fantastic.
Here with the TRD Pro Bros, we talk a lot about accessories. We're really happy when we came out with that genuine Toyota lift kit. Looking at the numbers, you're one of our, if not our biggest buyer here in the Denver region. What's your feelings of that, of us coming to the market with a genuine Toyota lift kit, and what your customers think about that?
I think we've all been shocked by the amount of money that our truck customers especially spend on accessories after the fact. And I think what that does is they go out to the grocery store, the movie theater, and they want their truck to look different than everyone else's. They don't want it straight off the line. So for years, customers were demanding that we put aftermarket lifts on these trucks, and honestly, I was scared to death of it. I think I'm introducing products into the manufacturing that Toyota already has perfected. We're going to introduce concern with safety features that we're, top of the line with, and are we going to put our customers or other people on the road at risk? So we held off for a long time. However, when y'all did come out with the factory lift, we were, again, like you said, an early adopter, and we've been very proud of it. We can stand behind it as our dealer, our customers can feel safe in it, and when they go out into that parking lot, they look way cooler than everybody else's truck.
Well, we thank you for that adoption, because we used you as the case study. Big dealer, little dealer, hey guys, Stab's got a market for it. I know you're kind of a mid-major. We love you anyway. We love you to death. But we can go big dealer or little dealer going, this guy's figured it out. Why can't you, Mr. Dealer? His customers want it. How is your customer any different? So thank you for being that adopter. It has been in the family since 1974. You've seen a few Toyotas come to the lot. You've seen us drop off a few from the truck. What is your favorite? And I have to ask this because as I walked up here, I saw a lot of beautiful vintage Toyotas up front. Probably all of them, the registration has your name on it somehow or the other. But what is your favorite?
Yeah, I'm a Land Cruiser guy. I've always been a Land Cruiser guy. The red 1988 Land Cruiser you saw it from was my grandmother's. It's cool when you crack the door. It still smells like her perfume inside.
Oh, it's awesome.
So like you say, you get some of that sentimental feeling back. The one right next to it, the 02, that's the one my kids grew up in. So if you look on the back seats, you'll see where their car seats were pressed into the leather, and those little lines still exist. I'm driving a 2020 right now, Land Cruiser. We've decked it out, put a winch on it, put a rigid LED light bar, put really cool roof rack, tires, wheels on it, really spruced it up. And I've loved that car, but I did see some new vehicles that are coming out. And the new 2025 TRD Pro, as a matter of fact, that one right there, I've got my name on. So I'm taking home this weekend. I'm going to test drive it, show it to my wife and my son. And there is a very, very high likelihood I might break from the Land Cruiser temporarily to try out you guys' new technology.
Just has a reason to get an extra big garage. I know you've got a little insight. You've been with our Toyota dealer council for many years, and you're back on again. I bet you're being nice, and you're not sharing some of the super top secret stuff that I don't know yet. So maybe at lunchtime I'll be able to squeeze you and get a little some of that out to you. At Stapp Interstate Toyota, Brian Stapp, thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Curbside. I appreciate it. Oh, and MJ, make sure you mention to everyone if the moon landing is actually real.
Okay. So before we move to A-List top 5 accessories, because that's kind of what the show is about, right? Is highlighting these amazing accessories we have for our trucks. I want him to list off his top 5 off-road technology that comes with buying a Toyota.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see what you got. What's your top 5?
Here's the thing. It's been a while since I've done a list, so he's like, you have to do 2 lists.
Yeah, 2 lists, yeah.
So list number 1 is related to off-road technologies.
Yeah.
First on the list, multi-terrain select, okay? MTS. We talked about this when we launched Tundra. And the background of this is enhancements, kaizens, right? It worked before, we know that. But we've taken the control systems, the braking systems, and made them so much more smoother and controlled that it gives you even more confidence in those systems. So their capability is better, and how they actuate is much more smoother and enjoyable experience, right? So we have that. That leads me into number 2, MTM, multi-terrain monitor. So on some of our higher grade off-road vehicles, we've got what some people call PVM, we call multi-terrain monitor, because it actually adds more views. You can see the sides of your wheels to make sure you're not scuffing them on a rock. You can see where your wheels are going to be placed, what's right in front of you, giving you more sets of eyes while you're off-roading to protect your beautiful vehicle.
And one thing I liked about that, Andrew, not being as much of an off-road prowess as you, I was able to drive over a boulder, and I felt like the car was struggling trying to get over this boulder. And I'm like, man, I wonder how big that is. And Andrew's like, look at the monitor. You can see it. I'm like, oh, that's not that big.
Right.
And so I was able to kind of steer so you don't mess up your wheels, you don't mess up the undercarriage. And you're right. It's like being able to go outside and look for yourself, but the camera does it for you.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that leads me right into crawl control, because you're like, how big
Yeah.
is this boulder? How much throttle should I give?
Yeah.
You just pop that and crawl, and now you really are just worrying about steering the vehicle and paying attention to what's around you. Let the vehicle do all the rest of the work. It's going to do what it needs to maintain a certain speed that you've dialed in, and then you get to focus on the world around you. So that's number 3, is crawl control and DAC.
And I gotta throw in your number 4 because it's A-Track. We have a
It's so
lot of
good.
salespeople, a lot of people from our dealerships ask us, "Where's the red A-Track button that used to be up on the old Tacomas?"
Yeah.
Right?
A-List loves A-Track.
Yes.
Okay.
He does.
A-Track didn't go away. It just got better, right? We used to have it as an option. You have to enable it, make sure you're doing all the right things. It worked really well. When we launched this was huge. You have the kind of the 2 tiers are A-Track is here and E-Locker is at the top, right? So A-Track does some of what an E-Locker will do, where it sees the wheel slipping and it'll grab some of the brake over there to try and send power to the wheel that's not moving at all. So it gives you a little bit extra traction in lieu of having an electronic rear locker engaged, okay? So we used to have to enable that. Well, now we've enhanced it, and it's standard on everything and operates in the background. So anytime you're in 4 high or 4 low, it is always watching for that wheel slippage and engaging as necessary. So one less thing to worry about while enhancing it and standardizing it on all of those vehicles.
It's kind of a buzzkill for you folks that love the buttons, right?
Yeah.
Like you're a pilot,
Yeah.
but it's awesome if you have no idea what's going on and you just need the car to go.
Perfect for MJ.
Yeah,
He's a
perfect for me.
He doesn't want any extra buttons in there.
That's so true.
So the last one, again, this leads me right into it, is our electronic E-Locker rear differential, okay? This is something, again, we've improved over time. We used to have a motor on the outside. Now it's all self-contained in the diff. We just have 2 little plugs on top. It locks that rear differential so that we get equal power output to both wheels, no matter which one is touching the ground or not. And that gives you the ultimate traction, that the highest level that you're going to get for your off-road performance. So we've got a lot of steps and levels in our toolbox, 5 of them, if you have been counting in my list, that help you get through various situations to get you all taken care of what you're going to experience.
And for you folks that saw that steamboat footage in the snow, Andrew locked that rear diff so he could spray me, and it was coming like a avalanche that I started to pray. That's what you call spray and pray.
That's right,
As I'm
spray and
walking
pray.
backwards.
With the snow.
Yeah, please don't hit me with too much snow.
So speaking of some of these different items that I just ran through on my list, we got to go through and do a little show and tell, a little information on the inside while we're out in Moab. So we've got Cruise Moab. It's a consumer event. We'd like to go and sponsor that. Headquarters comes out there with us. It's always a helpful place to go and show our new technologies, our new vehicles. So I got some time with Ryan, partner in crime. He knows far more than I do about all of these things. So we'll cut to that and take you through some new information. What's up, everybody? We are out in beautiful Moab, Utah. You can see we've got tons of sand behind us. We've got our beautiful 4Runner here. This is Andrew, the professor, but when I'm with Ryan, totally Ryan, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
I am not the professor. I am the student. He is now the professor. We were out here messing around, trying to understand what the systems do in these TRD off-roads, vehicles, both premium and standard. You know, we get things like MTS, we get the multi-terrain monitor, and inside multi-terrain select, we get things like sand mode, which is especially helpful out here. So we're trying to understand why is that helpful. We talk about the SR5 and that it's got a lot of value and capability, but when we move into that TRD off-road, we aren't just doing it for nothing. So Ryan, what's so good about multi-terrain select?
So multi-terrain select gives you the ability to control the torque application to the tires on varying kinds of terrain without an extensive off-road background. So it gives a beginner or a novice driver the ability to get out in the backcountry with the confidence that they're going to get to where they want to go and not get stuck. Is it an absolute solve the problem device? No, but it gets you 80% of the way there, and it works really, really effectively.
We love that. And we say this all the time. These things are another tool in your toolbox. It doesn't do all the work for you. It just gives you more ability to take care of the experiences that you're having, depending on if you chose a trail correctly or not. Now, Ryan, last thing, we've got a lot of features that come with TRD off-road. What's your favorite one outside of MTS?
So the big advantage going to the TRD off-road is that selectable rear locking differential. You don't get that in the SR5. You have to bump up to the off-road grade to get it. But that's like the first thing real off-roaders add to their vehicles is a locking diff. The Toyota electric locking diff works really great. It's perfect in stock form. It's quick to engage. It's quick to disengage. And it gets you one step further towards true off-roading right out of the box.
Love it. We love how they put this truck together. They've done a lot of great things to make it great on-road and off-road, again, packing in those features. So understanding the value and what they add is the key to helping our customers be happy with their vehicle and what they're looking to purchase.
All right, so that's pretty awesome, man. Being able to see all that footage from Moab, I'm sure you had a great time. What's so cool about Cruise Moab? It's 100% Toyota, and there's only
So
like
good.
250 people that can come.
Yeah, 250 vehicles. Obviously, there's a variance in passengers in there, but it says like, you know, you can come with a Jeep, but like be prepared to be left behind and made fun of, and you know, we're not gonna make you feel bad, but you know, you should have a Toyota.
Yeah, that's when you say Jeepers Creepers.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Go to Easter Jeep Safari.
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome that we were able to not only look at Andrew's top 5 off-road technologies, but you got to see how those technologies work in Cruise Moab.
Yeah.
And in a beautiful place
Yeah.
that's perfect for off-roading. So,
Totally.
and again, these technologies are really about our 5 brothers, right? You got the Grandpa, which is Land Cruiser. You've got the Sequoia Tundra, which has it. And then obviously the Tacoma and 4Runner,
Yeah.
which are well known for off-roading.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping that prowess that we have.
Yes. And so now let's do our second set of top 5 accessories.
Another list.
Another A list. You could call it Alpha. You could call it Andrew. Let's go, Andrew. What do you got?
All right. Well, we'll switch this up a little bit. Last time we just did all accessories, right? But we'll do one accessory per vehicle in our F platform. Does that work?
That works.
All right. So
That
number
works.
1, we'll start with the big boy, the Tundra tonneau cover. This is like a no-brainer. I don't know why every truck doesn't come with one. Everyone can use that. It makes the truck more functional. It's easy to take on and off. It's a no-brainer.
Plus, you can keep your stuff safe.
Right.
Put it in the back, lock it up. No one
Right.
takes it.
We get random snows here. Boom. Don't worry about whatever you put back
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
100%.
So tonneau covers number 1. Number 2 for Sequoia is the Prinzu roof rack. Full length roof rack, super functional, especially with those of you who want to carry a bunch of cargo as well as a bunch of passengers. Get that full length roof rack, have everything on top, no worries. So number 2 is Sequoia Prinzu roof rack. Number 3 for Tacoma is the TRD wheels. I love those black wheels. We love TRD. Huge improvement. I've not always loved our wheels. I'm just gonna come out and say it. But this TRD accessory wheel, I think, is a really sharp wheel to have on that vehicle. So that's the number 3 for our Tacoma. Number 4 for 4Runner, you guys saw this out at our launch, was the Yakima home base. I love the organization that we have. He has a sticker for everything.
I love my stickers. I love my stickers.
I love the organization, and it's easy to attach. It fits perfectly in there, easy to remove. It uses the anchor points that are in the vehicle. So really, really love the home base from Yakima. And last one, but not least, is Land Cruiser. I'm going to do Prinzu roof rack again because in 1958 has no roof rails on it. You put that Prinzu roof rack on it. Now I've got tons of functionality with that vehicle as well as all of its off-road prowess, and it's ready to roll out of the
And
dealership.
Prinzi just makes such nice roof racks. High
Yes.
quality, they fit well.
Yeah.
It just looks good. And I see a lot of customers say, I'm never going to use it. It just looks great.
That's right.
So I'm going to put it on.
It's an accent piece.
It is. It's just such a well-designed, well-built rack.
Yeah.
So we're about at the end of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and we want to give special thanks for you tuning in and learning about our Toyota off-road technology.
Yeah.
Right? Andrew did a nice job not only describing it, but showing it.
Yeah.
Especially at Moab. That was amazing. And, when we were in Steamboat, you lit me up a little bit with the snow. But
he recovered. He
crushed it. He crushed it. Mountain Meg did a great job showing you her lifestyle piece on what it's like to be in our products and buying products that work for your lifestyle, especially as a woman.
Yep.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Keller gave us some great insight with some of his interviews on the world of accessories and what makes our products so good from a consumer standpoint, right? Because we were able to interview one of our favorite dealers, Brian Stapp. So special thanks to him for being on this podcast. Anything else you want to throw in there before we close up?
I can't think of anything. I just get excited for off-road stuff. I love seeing them out in the world. I love that we have all refreshed TNGAF platform, and now I'm seeing more of those than the old ones out in the world. And I love to see what people are doing with them, where they're taking them. It just gets me excited and keeps me amped up on what we're doing here.
And lastly, we believe in love.
Yeah.
Love runs the world, right? You got to
Yes.
love on the product. You got to love on our viewers, love on our consumers that buy our products.
Yeah.
Let's do a little TRD Pro heart. See that? It's popping out of you like it's beating.
That's right.
We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.